Hi, for this video what we're going to do is we're going to solve an absolute value equation. This particular absolute value equation does not have a solution, but you wouldn't know that starting out. So what I want to do is I want to get us to the point where you can figure out that there is no solution for an absolute value equation. So with this, the first thing that you want to do with any absolute value equation is to get the absolute value itself alone on one side, because you really won't know that there is no solution until you get to that point. So the first thing that we would want to do is add this 6 to the other side. So we would be left with 4 times the absolute value of 10x, and make sure that you can tell that it's an absolute value and not a 1. I see a lot of students that when they're working through this, they'll all of a sudden forget where the absolute value was and turn it into a 1, and they'll think this is 110. So just make sure that you do know where that is. And we can say that this equals -40. Remember that when you have different signs, you simply subtract, so 46 minus 6 is 40, and keep the sign of the larger number. Since 46 is larger than 6, we would keep the negative. Our absolute value is still not completely by itself. So this part right here is still not completely by itself. So we would have to divide both sides by 4. And with this, we end up with the absolute value of 10x equals -10. Now, if you remember, the definition of absolute value is the distance from 0. And distance is always positive. Even if you're going backwards, you're still traveling a positive distance. So since it is impossible to have a negative distance, and that's all absolute value is, so it's impossible for a negative So for this situation, this is where we would put that there is no solution. There is no solution to this because of the fact that we can't ever have a negative distance. So anytime once you get the absolute value by itself, you have a negative value that it is equal to, you know that there is no solution. As always, thanks for watching. Please make sure that you check out all the other videos that I have. If there's specific content that you need covered that you don't see, just let me know.